How's it going, everyone? It's Taz from Pair Digital, and in this video I just want to talk about something that is systematically and endemically wrong with the marketing industry and the agency space. Now, I've been running my agency Pair Digital, which is an e-commerce marketing agency, since 2014, and over the years we worked with hundreds of e-commerce brands. We've collectively spent millions in ad spend, and we've helped them generate millions in revenue profitably. And there's been a lot of changes and various different things happening in the space which I've seen over the last 12 years. But there's one thing that I want to talk about which is really important, because I see a lot of people actually burning themselves out completely, destroying their kind of peace of mind. And that is basically the agency model in itself. Now, if you're thinking about starting an agency, okay, and you want to do, that's absolutely fine, okay? Starting an agency is one of the easiest and lowest barrier to entries business models out there. You don't really need much. You just need a computer or like a laptop, internet connection, and a really great solid idea and offer, and something that really solves a genuine problem for a business owner, okay? That's pretty much it, essentially. That's what everyone tells you, and to a certain extent, that is very true. You don't even need a lot of money. You can get started from as little as $500, if not virtually no money. So yeah, in terms of barrier to entry, it's really easy. However, and this is the part that a lot of people don't tell you, okay, and take it from someone who's been doing it for 12 years, this business model, while it's very easy to get into, is very difficult to maintain, to grow, and to scale, and to maintain profits, as well as delivering a really good service. This business model will chew you up and spit you out and rip you a new arsehole in a place that you didn't even know existed within yourself. And that is not an exaggeration. This is a very tough business, okay? It's not built for everyone. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because just a few days ago, in one of my school community groups that I'm part of, got someone literally goes, I spent $4,000 with a particular trainer, coach, guru, whatever. That was the last $4,000 I've had. I followed their exact scripts, their exact word for word, everything, and I've not landed a single client. And this person, by the way, is based in the United Kingdom. They've got a good kind of customer base to reach out to, and they followed everything that this guru or this coach, whoever it is, advised them to do, and they couldn't get anything. Now, it could be the fact that it's just, you could call it luck, bad luck, for example. You could call it a number of things. But when it came to obviously getting a refund from this guru, this guru turned around and said, sorry, no can, right? Now, obviously that's whatever. And this person has spent a lot of their money, like literally their life savings, what they had left over after quitting their job, in putting this together. Now, my kind of question to that is, look, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to guru bash or anything at all. There are a handful, mind you, a very small handful, which are really good and they're worth the money that you pay them. And there are some, in fact, quite a few, who are literally just con men and con women as well. And it's just not great. And what we're finding at the moment is that the barrier to entry to this business model is very low, which means a lot of people are starting agencies and coming together. Now, what a lot of these courses tend to teach you is how to acquire clients. Do this to get a client, do that to get a client. They teach you how to get clients. What they don't teach you is how to deliver a really good product or service to your clients, how to keep them for a longer period of time, how to increase your retention, how to deliver a good service. They don't teach you any of that. They just say, get clients, and that is it. There's nothing beyond that. But when it comes down to getting those clients, anyone can get clients. That's not the rocket science part. The hard part is maintaining them and giving them the results that they pay you for. At the end of the day, it is their money. They're not just paying you a fee. They're also spending money on paid ads, for example. And you need to have the right ethics in place to make sure that they're getting the result that you are promising them. Like when I'm working with my clients, and like I said, collectively as an agency across all our clients, we're spending well over $1 million a month actually in ad spend. And that is such a huge, massive responsibility for me. Like, I want to make sure that all my clients are getting the best possible result by working with us. And I'm sure a lot of people out there who have that mindset, but others, they're just unfortunately in it just for the monthly fee. And another thing they don't teach you in these courses that I think is really important to learn is how business actually works, right? All these gurus, they talk about get to 10K a month. We will buy my course and I'll show you how to get to £10,000 a month or dollars a month in 57 minutes. And what they don't teach you is that £10,000 or $10,000, how quickly it's going to disappear as a business owner, because that's what you are essentially. When you do these things, you become a business owner. Now, I'm not sure about other places in the world, but here in the UK, when you set up a company, you become a registered limited company. Now, when a client pays you your invoice, let's say you've got 10 clients paying you £1,000 a month, and that's £10,000 a month in revenue. That revenue is revenue. It's not profit, and it's not money that all of it goes into your pocket. That's one thing you got to understand, right? That £10,000 comes in. You pay yourself a salary, which is a combination of salary, which could be tax-free up if you stay within the limits, and obviously dividend. Now let's assume the average living cost, providing that you're living at home at your parents, you don't have any massive overheads or costs or anything at all, your overheads would probably be £2,000. So you take £2,000 out for yourself, as that leaves 8,000. Then you obviously have to pay tax, being corporation tax, which is 19%, but for argument's sake, let's round it off to 20%. And then you have, what do you call it, VAT as well, value added tax, which is also 20%. So that £10,000 that's coming to your business account, very quickly you're down to probably 4,000 or £4,000 or £5,000. Okay, only of which £2,000 has come to you through salary. Now, whatever's left in your business account, you then decide, okay, I want to grow the business. I want to hire someone, because right now I'm doing every single thing. I'm doing admin, I'm doing operations, I'm doing service delivery, I'm doing sales, I'm doing putting fires out, I'm managing clients, I'm doing everything that the business requires me to do as one person. So what I need to do now is hire someone. Okay, and I'll do another video about hiring and everything else later, because that in itself is a massive operation in itself. But you hire someone to deliver the service to your clients. Okay, now you pay that person a salary. You could hire a contractor or whatever. Either way, you pay for their services, right? Now, let's say you get someone relatively decent but cheap, not from the UK or the US, but from somewhere like the Philippines or whatever. You're paying them a good salary. You're paying them at least $2,000 a month based on how many accounts you've got, whatever it is. So that 3,000 or 4,000, or for that 4,000 or 5,000 pounds that's left over, now that's down to £3,000, give or take. You then spend money on advertising to grow your business, to get more clients in. All right, so very quickly you'll see that £10,000 that these gurus are pushing you towards, that $10,000 a month, which is a magic number, pushing you to quickly diminish. But majority of it has gone. Some of it on justifiable business expenses, some of it on tax, some of it on yourself, for you to live your day-to-day life. Right? That whole £10,000 is not coming into your pocket. That's one thing you got to understand. That's one thing you need to really get through your head, because that's not the case. That's not how business works. I wish it did. We'll all be rich, but it doesn't. And this is something a lot of people don't tend to talk about. Now, when you're that £10,000 or $10,000, that could be a life-changing sum of money. It is a substantial sum of money. It really is. Even though I'm an established business owner, I've got financial stability, I've got a team of people working for me, I've got my business to where I want it to be, right? After God knows how much blood, sweat, tears, mistakes, money spent, money waste, loads of fuck-ups along the way, I finally managed to get myself to where I want it to be. Great. But if someone came along and gave me £10,000 just like that as a cash in the bag, of course, I would be like, fantastic. So it is a life-changing sum of money, especially if you've got no job, or if you've got a job that, doesn't pay you so much. But what's going to happen is that 10,000, all of that 10,000, as I keep saying, and I'll keep saying this, is not going to go all into your pocket. Now, some people are savvy enough to understand this, but a lot of people I speak to, they will think, hold on, I'm actually making more by doing my 9-to-5 job. Now, I can make more if I get more clients and grow the business, etc. But right now I'm stuck. I'm doing everything I can, but it's not working. So there's a lot of that as well. Now, there are some people out there who really grow rapidly. They start in January, and by March, which is the first quarter done, they're on like 50, 60, 70, 100K a month in revenue. And that's fantastic. That's great. But the majority of people, that's not going to happen. Hate to say it, right? It's not going to happen for every single person. It's going to happen for a small majority or small minority of people, should I say. And whether it's luck, whether it's the way you are as a person, could be a number of different factors that separate you from the rest. Like, for example, I've been in this business for 12 years. I am where I'm meant to be, as where I wanted to be in terms of my success, my financial stability and everything. So if you're just starting and you're looking at me, you're looking at the wrong person, because I'm 12 years ahead of you, okay? You need to not look at me. Yeah, fine. You can look at me and say, I want to be like Taz. I want to have a team of people. I want to be somewhat removed from the business. I want to have that time freedom and location freedom, blah, blah. But like I said, I've taken 12 years to get here. Now, you may take 1 year to get there, and that's great. But in that initial time frame, like in that initial time where you're at, where you're just about starting, don't look at someone who's walked for 5, 6, 12 years of this journey. Look at someone who's just starting out. Get advice from other people. And for God's sake, right, don't spend your last bit of money that you've got. Don't borrow money. Don't get into debt or anything to buy these courses from these people. Okay, I really beg you, do not do that. Because you don't need to, right? There's so many free resources on YouTube. You can literally sit down with ChatGPT and build out a whole plan. And it won't take you anything other than an hour or so of your time, if that. Not saying you don't need to spend money. Of course, I got to a point in my business journey and my career where I needed advice, I needed guidance, I needed mentorship, and I needed someone to come in and tell me exactly, right, this is what you need to do to get to the next stage. And that is when I decided to invest into myself, into my learning. But when I quit my job 12 years ago, right, I didn't straight away spend the last bit of money I had buying a course. I went away, opened my laptop up, got onto YouTube, and I started learning about this industry because I come from a banking background. And I'm not one of those wanker arsehole investment millionaire bankers who messed up the economy back in 2008. No, I work with regular people in the bank branches who've got regular problems just like you and me, right? And I quit that job, which was relatively stable, boring as hell, relatively stable, and went into business with my wife, and we set up this company. But we didn't spend thousands of pounds that we just didn't have in buying courses or anything at all. We decided we're going to learn everything from the ground up. Especially me. She was already in the industry, as she was a little bit ahead of me. But for me, I came from a whole different industry, and I didn't even have a Facebook page. Hell, I didn't even use WhatsApp that much, right? So this was all new to me. But I didn't spend money I didn't have, or very little money that I did have on a course. I learned everything myself only when I was comfortable to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 or pounds on a coach or a consultant to come into my business and tell me this is what you need to do. That's when I did it. And I think that's when you should do it as well. The agency space is becoming saturated. It's not saturated, I say, but it's becoming open to everyone. It's easier to set up an agency, whether it's an AI agency, whether it's SMMA or AAIAA, whatever all the agency acronyms that are out there. It's very easy to set up. But what you really need to get three things through into your head is that $10,000 or pounds that they're telling you to chase every single month. Not all of that is going to end up in your pocket. The second thing is, once you've acquired clients, the first thing you should learn before acquiring clients is how you can deliver the service to them so that they stick with you and that they're happy with you and that you're doing right by them. Learn that skill first before you learn on how to acquire clients. And the third thing you should do is have this really fundamental understanding that there's loads of information out there. All you need to do is sit down and go through, and you don't need to pay anyone to get that information. When you're ready, when you're at a point when you're doing 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, right? And you think to yourself, right, now I need someone who's bigger than me, better than me to come in and tell me what I need to do to get to 70, 80, 100K a month. That's when you need to invest. Anyway, rant over. I hope you find this video useful. If you have, give it a subscribe to the channel. And if you do know of any e-commerce businesses, or if you run one yourself and you want to get the best possible results, feel free to book a call down below. The link is down below. But yeah, if you are looking to start an agency, take a step back, think about everything clearly and logically, and don't fall for that shiny object syndrome. And there's no such thing as a magical formula, silver bullet, or anything that will get you from there to there if you follow someone's advice dot for dot, right? That's the end of it. Thank you.